what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Snaps here on youtube.com/@snapscfp_. A huge thank you to everybody as big news to the YouTube channel. We have finally hit 16K. So let's give it up. Thank you, everybody who hangs out with us here every single day and has helped us climb. I mean, look, if the pace was up, CT, former producer Chris Tran also really helped us figure out the podcast front, which seems to be going smoothly now. We got breakouts now going up consistently as well. I mean, the next steps for the channel is to kind of tighten everything up, right? Like maybe add a little bit of production flourish in terms of the breakouts with beginning and endings and everything. But the bottom line is we are finding our way here. Day by day. But it's all thanks to y'all, and 16K is awesome. I would love to see how high we can push that number before football season. Is there any hope we can catch a heater and get to 20K? Probably not, but we'll try. And the best way to do so is to like it and share it.
Two things. One, streaming the game in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I think could help.
Which, holy fuck, we got a lot of shit we got to do before then to get that already. But yes, continue.
Yeah. I talked to your boy last week, so I think I should be ready soon. That should help. And then two, when August gets here and the excitement of football season is legit, algorithm starts spiking for everyone who talks about college football. So that's when we really need the community to keep hitting that thumbs up, keep sharing it as we get ready for an awesome season.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd love to hit 20 before the season starts. Again, pacing wise, it doesn't make any sense, but fuck it, dude. Let's see how far we can go. So a massive thank you, though, to all of you who hang out with us every day here live, who listen to the pod, who share it, rate it, review it, all that sort of stuff, because all of that really, really helps if you just hit the like button.
I like that. Right? 20K by week 3.
Yeah, that's a good goal. That's a more realistic goal, certainly. Certainly. John, nobody lose a hand or worse on the fireworks after this last week. I hope so. I hope nobody lost anything. I hope not. So we got a good show planned for you today. Paul Feinbaum says that he thinks this could be Lincoln Riley's last season in Los Angeles. And well, lest you think he's just headline grabbing. I mean, we kind of individually on my morning show arrived at a very similar stance. Calling this the most important game of the Brian Kelly era at LSU and kind of a make it or break it game for Lincoln in Los Angeles. So we'll get to that. I want to show you a picture of UGA's offensive line because literally just a minute before the show started, I saw a tweet from On3 and holy fuck, UGA's offensive line is huge. It's not going to be a ton to talk about there, but you're going to want to see it. Dan Lanning continues to impress. A little bit of Oregon check-in on the recruiting trail and just kind of Lanning in general. We've got our top 10 non-conference games of 24 season. And then Aaron may have to go during the middle of this or at a certain point during this because I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to go. But EA Sports released a 21-minute deep dive on the gameplay for the new NCAA game, and I will react to all of that at the end. That will not be uploaded to the audio podcast, podcast, because obviously, well, that doesn't play well on the audio podcast. Nick says, T-Bob, when are you gonna do a mushrooms giveaway prize for the chat? At 25K, I will do a live stream tripping on mushrooms. Okay, is that what you want to do? And talk some football. Aaron has a charity golf tournament to get to today. Yeah, I know. No. All right. You want to go ahead? Oh wait, how was your 4th? All good?
4th was good. I hope everyone else had a safe 4th, and all 10 fingers, if you had 10 before, are still intact right now. If you haven't seen it, T-Bob may be the most athletic fat dude I've ever seen in my life. Doing a backflip off the boat was pretty impressive.
You like that?
It was pretty impressive. I don't think I could do it.
Not the highlight.
You're not fat, actually. You look good, man. You do look good.
Trying, bro. Trying, dude. Day by day. No Ozempic. Although every time somebody online hits me with that shit, I take it as a compliment. And I want to be clear: no Ozempic, no weight loss drugs here. I just don't.
Ozempic's actually supposed to be good for you in a lot of ways. I got an article.
I am not hating. I am not hating. Okay. But the bottom line is if you lose any weight now, everybody just assumes you're on it.
What does that matter? What does that matter?
I'm not judging for anybody who does, but as
I
somebody who's
know.
doing it through working out and just like fasting and stuff, like, I don't know, man. It's like, I just want people to know that you can lose weight the other way, but you can lose weight with Ozempic too. Sure. I know a
Yeah,
lot of
of
friends and
course you
family
can.
who have. It's been great
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
But no, my highlight over the weekend was winning the Toledo Bend A-Bear Bocce Ball
Oh.
Championship.
Mm.
I have played in this thing for 25 years. We have a trophy that is like the Stanley Cup. It has every single player's name on it who has ever won it.
That's
There
awesome.
are a plethora of ex-boyfriends and girlfriends that will never be seen again that have their name on that trophy, ex-wives and ex-husbands. But my name had never gotten on there. And finally, after 25 years of fighting and scratching and clawing, my dream came true. Took home the trophy. Me and my cousin Shannon Aber got it done. Beat my old man, the Cannon, on the way. Had to win 4 games instead of a lot of other teams only had to win 3. Just a massive weekend for your boy.
Do you get to keep the trophy for the year?
No, it stays at the lake, but I did. I mean,
Uh,
I pulled a full Michael Jordan, kissing the trophy, falling on
yep.
my knees, flip into the lake.
Mhm.
I legitimately felt like I won a championship this week, and it felt amazing, amazing. AK, that's how you say Herbert. Okay, real quick here before we get, and we'll get in a show after this. I clicked on the wrong
Did you mean to
comment.
click that one?
No, and I clicked on Bo Melner. It says Ozempic sucks. You can't crush and snort Ozempic. True. AK says that how you say Herbert. So to be clear, my last name is actually spelled Hebert. There's no first R. Okay. And yes, it's pronounced Aber. All right, let's go. Lincoln Riley. How insane, Aaron Murray,
Jeez.
it would have felt 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The night when, actually, I know what night it was because it was the night when I had my child or was having my child, December 2nd, 2022.
Yes.
USC is sitting there. They're 11-1. They're going into the Pac-12 championship. Caleb Williams about to win the Heisman. Lincoln Riley looks like a home run hire. He's brought the Trojans back to the promised land. Everything is great. If I would have told you at that time that barely over a year later, there would be talk of firing him in Los Angeles, you would have told me I'm fucking crazy.
You're
and
crazy.
Yet, here we sit. Ever since that night against Utah, when Utah and Kyle Whittingham beat that ass in a submission, nothing has gone right. They lose that game. They absolutely blow a game in outstanding fashion. I mean, flabbergasting choke job against Tulane in the bowl. If you combine those two games, and last year they're now sub 500 since that moment. I mean, and as we're going to get into, it's not just on the field. It's not really going right anywhere for USC. Like this may sound crazy on the surface, but no, I think it's absolutely legitimate that this could. I mean, this year could result in Lincoln Riley being fired.
No, I mean, I'll take it a step back further. When the move happened, when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma and went to USC, the shockwaves that happened there, because there's talks about him going other places. The contract, because someone brought it up early in the chat, like, can you even get rid of him with the contract that he has right now? I remember he was one of the first few coaches that had the contract that included private jet miles, so he could fly anywhere on the private jet for USC. So like they went all in, and you can't blame him. The success that he had at Oklahoma, whether it was Heisman winning trophy quarterbacks, playoff appearances, first round picks, all that, like he checked off every single box. Sexy offense, and he came in there swinging right away. And for him to be able to bring his quarterback in Caleb Williams, who been in the year, I mean, you could not have asked for a better situation to say, hey, this guy knows me. He knows my system. I can take him from Oklahoma, go to USC, and voila, we have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback that knows my system in year one there, and he can kind of rally the troops around him. So it was the perfect marriage, it seemed like. And then now some things start to unfold where, yes, losing season one, losing recruits, I think is the one of the worst things.
Yeah.
And then 3, obviously, the big one is you're joining a tougher conference. And I know the Pac-12 was difficult last year. So like, let's give them a little bit of grace. The Pac-12 went out with a bang. It was by far the most competitive league in the country. It was the most competitive Pac-12 we've seen in a decade.
It was the best. It was
one of the more competitive leagues in
whatever.
the country.
I'm being just is pedantic the right word? I'm being a little annoying. I'm just saying I think the Big 12 was maybe the most competitive in terms of like top to bottom, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Top tier teams. It was up
there.
But
yeah, but the Pac-12 had more top tier teams. Yes.
It was really good. So like you can kind of use that as a defense mechanism, but I think that the two big problems are that it's you're joining an incredible conference where you're not viewed as the USC brand as anywhere close to the top, and you're losing big time recruits. So then fans and administration now look at it as, is Lincoln Riley sustainable going forward? And it just does not look good going forward. We talk about paying people for future performance, kind of betting on them. We talked about that last week with Oklahoma. You're betting on the future that things are going well. You're recruiting well. You had a winning season. The dominoes are falling in your direction. Right now, the dominoes are not falling in the right direction for Lincoln and USC, and you're betting on the future not being that bright.
Well, and never forget, in all the Venables talk, Venables is cheap. Whatever that's worth. Even after the extension, only $8 million a year. Lincoln making over 10, which is where a lot of the pressure comes in here. And I want to get into the recruiting. But real quick, it was funny though. Last week, Oklahoma, Joe Castiglione, when everything was going down with OU and Texas officially getting into the SEC and celebrations and whatnot, he took a shot at Lincoln, basically confirming what everybody made jokes about when Lincoln ran to USC, that he was afraid to play in the SEC. He said, quote, I will tell you without reservation, every coach that we talked to about the switch was excited. And you know what? The ones that aren't here anymore. You either got to accept it or not. This is Oklahoma. Get with it or get on with it. So, of course, Lincoln chose to get on with it, but it's funny. That's just one piece of evidence out of a few that show us that he's kind of scared of this shit sometimes.
Yeah.
There is a lot of legitimate, I would say, like, I feel very comfortable saying this. These are, I guess, technically allegations. There's a lot of legitimate reporting that USC was desperately trying to get out of this year's game with LSU. In case you missed it, USC and Ole Miss both just canceled their home and home that they had on the schedule. They're citing 9 games. So already all this other stuff we're about to get into comes at a time where people are painting him as being scared from multiple different angles. And now you look at how USC. Okay, let's go through the reasons. Like you said, I don't think they're going to be great this year. I'm not the biggest Miller Moss believer.
Nope.
But and then there's recruiting, which just had an awful June. Oof. USC entered June in the top 5 of the 247 composite. They exited June 31st. They had a 5-star defensive lineman, a couple from Georgia, and 5-star D lineman Justice Terry decommit, 5-star D lineman Isaiah Bigson decommit. They had a 4-star safety Hilton Stubbs decommit. These are all 3 top 100 players decommitting in a very short amount of time.
It's a problem. And when's the last time Lincoln Riley didn't have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback playing for him? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And when you have the Baker Mayfields of the world, the Kyler Murrays of the world, the Caleb Williams of the world, like you have that horse that you can rely on to kind of get you out of some shit. I think you said it best. Like you and I both do not believe Miller Moss is anywhere close to that caliber. Maybe he surprises us. I don't know, but based on watching the bowl game, and if you just don't watch the game and go look at the stats, you're like, oh, he's got another Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Don't let the stats fool you. He is not as gifted, even close as gifted arm strength wise, athleticism wise to those 3 quarterbacks. There will be a drop at the quarterback spot. There is no more Heisman guy that can bail you out of certain situations, that can win you football games, that can throw for 5-6 touchdowns every single week, that can make Heisman moments over and over and over again. So when you don't have that guy, which you've relied on for the majority of your career, what happens to your offense? What happens to your defense in your tougher conference?
I mean, quarterback is the queen, like we talked about. They everything they do gets bonus multipliers on the effect that they have, either positive or negative. And so, yeah, like even last year, a USC that limped into the finish, a lot of the bad stuff was still covered up by Caleb Williams. How much worse does last year look if Caleb Williams isn't on
the defense? They might not make a
that
bowl
team?
game without Caleb.
Now never forget that defense is actually still better than LSU's for whatever that's worth. But so okay, so the point is
so how much pressure is on him? How much more pressure is on him? I guess he's the head guy, so he takes it no matter what. But going out getting the new DC,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I mean, no.
Do you anticipate the defense to be a little bit better, or no?
The defense will be better. I think D'Anton Lynn's good.
Yeah.
I think Alex Grinch has unfortunately for Grinch, he has a proven track record of having pretty good recruits and just not being able to produce with them. Right. Yep. So I mean, even though he's now the DC at Wisconsin, somehow I think there's like a lot of evidence that says that maybe Alex Grinch is not a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be better on that side of the ball, but does it make up for the downtick that they're going to have offensively with Miller Moss and with an offensive line that, I mean, again, that offensive line year one under Riley was damn good. The O-line last year sucked, and it looks like they're probably going to suck again. And then we get into, so like you're saying, the roster is at a worse spot than it has been in a while. And then we mentioned the recruiting deficiencies. You had all those decommitments. You dropped from 5 to 31st. But
you did have a good class in 2023. And I don't know how many of those guys are ready. I don't know how many of those guys are ready to go and go out there and produce this season. Still being somewhat young, but 2023 they were top 10, number 8 on 24/7 Sports. 3 5-star commits, 10 4-star commits, and then 9 3-star commits. So like once again, like this is looking back. For most people, and obviously money plays a big thing into this. You brought up the $10 million. Looking back, for most coaches, you'd say, okay, 11 and 3, then 8-5. Like, yeah, the dip sucks, but like, hey, we're still good. We had a good recruiting class in 2023. We did have the 11-win season a couple of years ago. Let's give him some grace. It's money, and it's what's happening right now, and you're losing big time recruits at this very moment. And people are reacting to what's going on now, what not the 11-win season, unfortunately, happened 2 years ago. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen has a great season, but then what was the narrative? Dan Mullen wasn't getting it done on the recruiting trail.
Yeah.
Dan Mullen wasn't getting it done, and then he was losing to Georgia, and then his biggest rival was getting it done. You're joining a conference that has 2 of the best recruiting teams in America in it, Ohio State and Oregon. So you're going to get judged against them.
And I think in terms of just pure recruiting right now with USC, one of the problems is a bit of their strategy. You mentioned it's funny that you mentioned the unlimited use of the private jet, because Lincoln's been trying to take advantage of that, right? The 2 D-line commitments that I just mentioned, where are they from? They're from Georgia. They've tried to go into Texas a lot. Obviously, he would have formed a lot greater relationships when he was in Oklahoma in that state. But you know what he's ignoring? His backyard.
Yeah.
California. If you are USC, you have to treat it like you do. Now, there's a lot more competition than in Georgia or LSU, but every great Georgia or LSU coach or Ohio State coach will say, what's the number one priority? To put the fence up around Georgia, Ohio, Louisiana. USC head coach needs to approach it in the same manner and then pick and choose elsewhere. Listen, this is not good. USC in the last recruiting cycle, California had 36 blue chippers. Okay. USC got 4. There are 34 blue chippers in this cycle. USC has 2. Texas A&M, I think, is about to have 3 of the top 5 players committed out of the state of California. And so, and look, it's different, right? At LSU, it's like they demand that you get like 10 of the top 11 guys in the state, right? Yep. Or 9 of 10. There's not a lot of room for, you don't have to get all 36. I mean, you can't obviously write the numbers, but you got to get more than 4. You have to get more than 2. Yep. You have to build through California and then dip into other states when you need to. Not right now. He's building. He's trying to build nationally and then dipping into California.
He doesn't have to.
Makes no sense.
You don't have to. And this isn't a situation where, say Florida, for example, you have some pretty big brands. You got Florida, you got Florida State, you got Miami. Obviously, UCF now is a Power 5 school. Like, you have recruiting battles that are legit. Plus, you obviously have the outside pressure if everyone wants to get into Florida. California is kind of the same thing. People want to go to Florida, California, Texas. Like, those are like the three big hot spots for college athletes, especially athletes. You go to California, you go to Florida. But you don't have the big in-state rivals like Florida does. I just mentioned Florida, Florida State, Miami. Like, those are three big brands that are pretty good at football. California, who do you got? UCLA, Stanford.
You should dominate the state.
You should dominate that state. Yeah, you got Oregon. Obviously, is going to come in, and Oregon's been the sexy brand for a while now because of uniforms and obviously the success on the football field. But when it comes to owning the state, you should be the team in California getting the first pick for a lot of these players, and they're not doing that.
No, and so we see a roster, and even with last year's class, a lot of transfers as well out, right? So including the number one quarterback in the entire country from that class, which again, I think Lincoln knows quarterback. If he's letting that guy walk, that's fine. But so you have a roster that is probably more questionable heading into year 3 than it has been thus far. You have very flawed recruiting that just experienced the worst month under Lincoln Riley in his 3 years, right before such an important start to the season. And you're moving into a conference, as you alluded to, where, I mean, I'd put Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan, and maybe Iowa ahead of you. So you're paying a guy $10 million a year, and you're moving into a conference.
Where'd you put Washington?
You may be the sixth best team.
Yeah, Washington.
I think Washington's just got so fucked by this last year's exodus of talent. I mean, Muhammad's gone, all the receivers are gone. O-lineman, I like Jed Fish. I just feel like it may take some time. Fish wasn't able to take over or take Fafita or McMillan with him. Like, I'm not going to put Washington.
Don't forget Nebraska. Where'd you put them with Nebraska?
I put them. It's funny you say that, because when I put Iowa in the maybe category, the next team I was going to put was Nebraska. But I recognize that
who
was
do we think is going to have a better record this year? I would say Nebraska.
Too far.
And I do want to go over. Someone in the chat asked, have we done the schedule breakdown for USC? I'd love for you to bring that out so we can kind of go through that maybe team by team as
segment.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the segment. But yeah, I mean, you're middle of the pack in the Big Ten. Middle of the pack.
Okay, so roster going down, recruiting imploding, middle of the pack entering this conference, and then what is the saying? Comparison is the thief of joy, right? Well, it doesn't help, as you alluded to, when Oregon's there.
Yeah.
And everything is going right for Oregon, who's picked to win the Big Ten according to computers. Oregon, who is the number 3 recruiting class for 2025 right now. Oregon, who has the Heisman front runner or one of the Heisman front runners. Oregon, who has the great young coach that looks like he's going to be one of the next greats.
Well, and they came at the same time too.
Riley.
Let's not forget, they came at the same time. Lincoln and Dan both got these jobs at the same damn time. So they're heading to year 3. Dan looks like he's coaching a national championship type roster, and Lincoln looks like he's coaching a team that's going to try to make it to a bowl game.
Who's taking all the best players in California?
Yeah.
Oregon. So underneath the Trojans' noses, Oregon is taking everything, and they have rocketed past USC at a time where, due to the transitional period of heading in the Big Ten, like, who was going to be in that best position heading into the Big? That was up for grabs, and Oregon didn't just pass it up. They rocketed past him. They fucking smashed him. And again, you're paying Lincoln Riley $10 million a year. So there is a ton of evidence that when you put it all together, you could see that, yes, this could be Lincoln Riley's last year in LA.
Do you think the kind of money that Oregon has?
What?
When it comes to just this new era, like, does USC, because Oregon has everything. They got the facilities. They got the stadium. They got the NIL funding. They kind of check off a lot of the boxes. They don't really have the recruiting ground that
no, they don't have the geography. They don't have the geography.
But they can jump into California, and they have the big enough brand where people across the country know Oregon, like Oregon, and will commit to go out to Oregon. Does USC have the financial backing, in your opinion, to be able to? Is that the reason why they're falling off right now?
No,
they truly have the fan support that you need to be successful.
I still
That's
don't.
the hard thing.
I still don't buy this. I don't buy this idea. No, USC also has made a choice not to lead with NIL, or maybe not to fully try to exploit it. I think that I still don't care the the fan the person to person human being in Los Angeles does not care about USC the same way that person in
Eugene
Iowa does, Eugene, anywhere, right?
Yep.
But it's still like let's just 1% of buy-in from USC just due to the raw volume and the numbers of people. 1% of the population buying in at USC could be worth like 50% buying in another place. So I don't think that Lincoln Riley is being hamstrung financially. Now, maybe he doesn't have the open checkbook that Oregon Phil Knight has, although I need to do some reading on Oregon and Phil Knight because I was thinking about this today. Like, Phil Knight in many ways almost feels like an owner of Oregon, like an NFL team owner. And I wonder if he views it that way in his brain, only because if I was him and I looked at it that way, I could justify spending all the money in the world. Because I mean, yeah, your payroll might be like what Ohio State's is like 13 million, and that's crazy.
Yeah, but at least the NFL owners are getting money back. Like you're getting like, what is Phil Knight getting?
I agree. So that's kind of that is why I'm saying it's full of, or I said it this morning, this is an idea that's, admittedly full of holes. But if he's just thinking about it in that way, all of a sudden you can make $13 million feel like nothing. You're like, an NFL payroll is like 200 something million. And here I am, I control everything. I'm getting marketing through all these kids wearing Nike. And as the brand does better, I make more money on the back end there. But you know what I think it is? I mean, he has more money than he could ever fucking need or spend anyway. Right. So what I'm saying is I could just frame it. I could do the mental gymnastics if I was Phil Knight to frame it in my mind where I would essentially give an unlimited, I would give a blank check to Dan Lanning and company and say, go spend whatever the fuck you want. Maybe let's say I'll put a $20 million limit on it. Okay.
Yep.
Like I can make that work in my book, and it will not be a big deal at all.
Fonzie says in the chat, Phil Knight has said in many interviews he wants a natty before he dies and has given Oregon an open checkbook.
Well, and that combined with somebody like Dan Lanning, well, that's how. Actually, let's go ahead and talk.
Could Nike? You think it would be? You think Nike would be writing the check or Phil Knight writing the checks?
I think it has to be Phil Knight, right? Because Nike has too many other schools that they would be involved in. That feels like a conflict of interest. Even though
they couldn't, though. Obviously, they could.
No, they could. It wouldn't be legal. You're right. No, I mean, they probably do, but just at like a bunch of different schools. Like, I don't think Nike alone can be all in on Oregon without pissing off maybe some of their other relationships. But I don't know. I feel like I want to do more of a deep dive into this stuff. Last thing I'll say on the Lincoln Riley front is that Oklahoma fans, congratulations. You must feel very validated.
Yeah.
I kind of made a lot of fun of Oklahoma for what I thought was kind of, sour grapes after Riley leaves. All of a sudden, like, oh, that guy sucks anyway, right? Just like a classic, like, end of relationship thing to do.
That was sour grapes. You can't say he sucks anyways when he was leading you to multiple playoffs and multiple Heisman Trophy winners and multiple first picks in the draft.
But what they
still sour.
What they tell you is that he kind of left a la Jimbo Fisher, where like they were gonna suck. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what OU fans will tell you. And I mean, look, if he does not turn around at USC, he is just a newer Jimbo, newer Jimbo without a natty. Anyway, so OU fans, congratulations. Take your bow. Let's talk Dan Lanning.
Do you want to do the record real quick? Do you want to run through the schedule?
Okay, yeah.
Just run through it. Sure. We're gonna do a neat with at some point, so we're on the topic.
Okay, here is your USC schedule. Let me make sure I have this written down. As we always say, we do your for sure losses, your toss-up games, and we use that as a metric for finding what your record will be. All right, so LSU in Vegas. I'm going to say that's Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Come on, producer extraordinaire.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, relax. I got a lot of tabs open here. Let's see. Where did you go? I probably should have closed some
It's
of these
probably the one
tabs.
in between Pornhub and UJizz.
I have not jerked off on a computer in years, Aaron. I'm an adult, okay? I jerk off on an iPhone in the bathroom, like everybody should. What are you? Are you still just?
How do you get
Are
it?
you
What do you
still
like lean
exposing
super
your
far
computer?
back to get on the belly?
Well, no, the wet belly boys comes from being in bed or like somewhere
Okay.
where you're laying down.
Yeah. The hotel and SEC Media Days next week.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hotel, dude. What do you want me to do? I mean, come on, dude.
Free lotion.
Towels, free lotion and hand towels.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, LSU. Are we saying toss up or for sure loss?
I'm going loss.
I mean, I kind of think for sure loss as well, but obviously I think I'm a bit biased. And LSU's been god awful in season openers. So, like, okay, well, we'll maybe come back to that one. Utah State win at Michigan.
I'll give them a loss.
Okay, you're going for sure loss.
That's a long. They get the bye week though. I'll give that a toss up. They get the bye week.
They got a bye week. It's not going to be cold.
Yep. Would toss up.
They Michigan, it's early in the season, so this new look Michigan may not have a ton of time to gel yet. Yeah. I will say this though, Michigan's going to be so much fucking better in the trenches, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they will likely smash US. That'll be why they probably beat USC. Wisconsin at home. I'll give it a win.
Up. Okay.
Toss up. What is good about Wisconsin?
Okay, fine. Win.
I'm saying it's at USC.
I believe in their coach year 2, but all right, USC. Yep. All right, we'll give them a win.
Got to give Tyler Van Dyke. Do you believe in Van Dyke?
I don't. That's right. Exactly. All right, Minnesota.
USC
I'll say win.
At Minnesota. We'll give them a win there. Penn State at USC.
That's a hell of a trip for Penn State, but
I feel like that's a for sure loss. I feel like Penn State wins that.
Mm-hmm.
At Maryland, I'll give them a win. Although I don't know. Rutgers, I'll give USC a win. What about at Washington? It's not a terribly hard schedule, by the way, either.
No, it really isn't. Golly. We'll go toss up.
Yeah, we can't go for sure win there. Yep. Can't do it.
I'll give Nebraska the win the next one, though.
No, we can't. Yes. We got to go toss up. You cannot go Nebraska in Los Angeles as a for sure.
Okay, I'm more of a Pornhub
for USC.
Pornhub boy than you are, and Pornhub boy.
That's fine. That's fine. But you can't.
I'll say win versus UCLA.
Yep,
I agree with Sean D in this. I mean, God, Lee, as we go through these Big Ten schedules, as we just finished the SEC schedule a week ago, it was one of the first things I told you. I was like, my God, these schedules are atrocious.
Yeah, the problem with the Big Ten is they're just so top heavy.
Yep.
That if you avoid one or two of the big boys, it kind of makes the whole schedule feel easy.
Yeah. If you don't have Ohio State and Oregon in your schedule, you are.
Yeah. Yes, which obviously SC does not. Yeah. Massive break for them here early on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when it's all said and done, we got 3 for sure losses. We got 3 toss-up games. 2 of the toss-up games at home. I think you probably win Nebraska. I think you probably lose to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to put me right there at 7-4, with at Washington being the decider between 8-4 or 7-5.
See, I'm more pro Nebraska than you. I think Nebraska has a chance to have a good year. Obviously, you do too.
I mean, then you're looking at 6-6.
So, which is why, like, I'm going to say 7-5. I think maybe if they split one of those Washington or Nebraska game, you get the 7-5. So I like the 7-5 record.
Oh God, is Lincoln Riley fired if he goes 7-5? I'm betting he gets one more year and then he'll be fired.
I don't. It goes back to the money once again. Like, I don't know if USC has the money to pay to buy him out.
What is Lincoln Riley's buyout?
I mean, I think that it would be, one, you got to find the money. And then 2, it comes down to what does the recruiting look like too? Like, where are they recruiting wise by the end of the season? If it looks like you're about to be, say, out of the top 20 in recruiting, then I think it gets really dicey for him. But if he finds a way to somehow get some kind of spark in the recruiting at 7-5 with the big buyout, I think you got to keep them.
Yeah, I mean, again, contract numbers for SC, it's a private institution, so those are always going to be hard to buy. I mean, look, 7-5. I don't think you're going to fire him after year 3. And I think there's ample case to, like we said. And if you really were a motivated enough fan base, you could absolutely build the case and say why you're doing it. But no, 7-5 feels like keep him, try to get the quarterback back, see if we can figure it out. Maybe err on the side of continuity as you enter the Big Ten. I think that's probably it. Still,
it doesn't help. It doesn't help. The schedule is pretty damn easy. I mean, your toughest games are at Michigan, who's rebuilding with a new coach, first-year coach. Penn State, who has to travel all the way from the East Coast to your home.
Yeah. And LSU.
Who's
been awful in opening games.
And then you get your biggest rival, Notre Dame, or one of your biggest rivals, Notre Dame, at home. So but still overall, it's not a very difficult schedule.
The problem is, if I'm a USC fan and we go 8-4 with this schedule, I'm actually even more freaked out a bit. But whatever.
Yeah, true.
All right, real quick, before we get into Dan Lanning, let's go ahead and show you this picture of Georgia's offensive line.
Oof. This is not their starting offensive line. This is the recruits.
These are the recruits?
Yes.
This is not even their current offensive linemen?
No. None of these guys are starters.
Okay, this is just the 2024 O-line class.
Mm-hmm.
They average 6'6.5", 345 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these motherfuckers, dude. That means all these kids are like 18?
Yep.
Jazair Jackson is 6'10"?
Mm-hmm.
That's too big to play football, dog.
Don't tell the guy that just got drafted first offensive lineman in the NFL draft by from Notre Dame. Was he 6'9"?
I mean, I guess Mailata for the Eagles, I think he's about what, like 6'8", 6'9". I do think this is a bit of and I think that
I wouldn't want to be a quarterback behind that offensive line. How the hell are you supposed to look over a 6'10" dude?
Your ass would not have stood a chance.
No chance. That's why
you'd have a 6'5" center,
Bobo why they
6'7" guards, and a 6'10" tackle.
I asked Bobo why my offensive line was so much smaller than today. He said, because your ass was so small.
This is a funny graphic from On3 there, who does very good graphic design normally, but this makes it look like they're all just kind of into dudes, which is fine. If you listen on the podcast, it says thinking big with the G being a Georgia symbol, but it just ends up looking like thinking by. Which if you know me, that's like what I think I think it's all scale and we're all a bit bisexual. So I agree. God. 6'7", 6'6", 6'5", 6'7", 6'5", 6'7", 6'10".
Oof.
And these are not the starters.
What's the lightest weight? One dude's 371, 350.
The Malachi Tolliver at 6'5" is 315. But the lightest weight, the most impressive is Jackson at 6'10", being 350. Ooh. Like you can be ripped at 350 if you're 6'10". RW Tyndall says that's all great, but we need to win on the field this season. No excuses, go Dogs. Look, you should be fine. There's no Nick Saban. Your daddy's gone. Y'all be straight. Don't worry.
Georgia's won 2 of the past 3 national championships.
Yeah, but not last year. You know, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
3-peat. All y'all sit here and yelled at me. 3-peat, 3-peat, 3-peat. I tried to fucking tell you. Whatever though. It gets tiring.
One fucking game away from winning a 3-peat, but whatever.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think they made the playoff, did they? So they've been a couple games away actually. Had they won the SEC, but they didn't. Kind of blew it, honestly. Dan Lanning, it's pretty awesome. Actually, I don't want to go into a full Lanning segment here because we're short on time. Yeah. I just want to say this. There's been some interesting movement in the On3 industry rankings lately. This made me laugh out loud. Alabama's back up to number 2 in the country. They landed 13 commits over the last month. They're number 2.
Yeah. Same thing with 24/7. They're number 2, right behind Ohio State.
Yeah. So LSU was number 1 forever. Ohio State passed them up. Now now Alabama's passed them. Then Oregon passed up LSU as LSU's number 1, the number 1 wide receiver in the country, Corey Moore, was committed to LSU. He decommitted. He is now committed to Oregon. So they move up to 3. And UGA had slid ahead of LSU at 4 with a couple of commits. It looks like maybe LSU edged back, though I know UGA just announced some guys today. Maybe that changed. But Oregon firmly in the top 5 now. Both Oregon and LSU leading the way in blue chip ratio. They both have 15 commits, 14 of which are 4 or 5 stars. Only Lanning's got 3 5-stars to Kelly's 2. It's insane.
Pretty damn good.
Shepard taking us to the promised land. I know. I feel you, dude. If you're an Oregon fan, you should be incredibly excited right now.
And what you get Ohio State at home, correct? That's right.
Wait, what?
They get Ohio State at home. Yes, at Oregon. October.
Yes. 12th. Yeah, Austin. Duh. Yeah, my bad. I wasn't listening to you.
You never do. It's okay.
That's actually untrue. I listen to you all the time. But I was not fucking listening to you at all right now. All right, let's look at our top 10 non-conference games of the season. And actually, this comes from On3. We can actually go ahead and share this.
You want to save this too, or you want to get right into the okay, it's too late now.
Well, what do you want to do? Let's
save this for tomorrow. Let's get into your EA Sports so I can talk about it too.
Okay. All right. That sounds good to me. All right, guys. So EA Sports today released a 21-minute gameplay video. Here's what it looks like. Let's take a look here with your boys, see what this thing is all about. Let me know if the volume's okay when I press play.
For you, baby. Get in there.
Could be me being T-Bob ass right there.
Everybody eats.
What an exciting time to be a college football fan. And we are so happy to be able to bring you this gameplay first look of college football 25. We're going to bring in a little talent. On one side, if you follow in Twitter, if you follow college football at all, you know the name Bordeaux. And on the other side, you might recognize
Who's Bordeaux?
As one of the cover athletes of college football 25.
We reacted to a Bordeaux video. He's kind of one of the main NCAA football YouTubers. He's been playing.
Well, he sucks.
14 forever. What?
He's awful.
Wait, why?
Have you not watched this video yet?
No.
Oh,
I'm doing a live react.
Okay, there you go. I watched the first few minutes of it. He's fucking god awful.
Oh, okay. Wow. Jeez. Okay, relax. We're gonna have Bordeaux on the show after the game drops. I already talked to him, so you know
maybe he'll probably come on and beat my ass, but
chill out. Okay, let's get back.
From the University of Michigan, Donovan Edwards.
You know what? Thanks for having me on here, man. Just looking at this system right now, and just being able to look at the graphics of this, it's very spot on right here. They got the Big House theme song in here, so I'm very excited to play.
The Big House theme song.
Nick Francesco here with you alongside 2 very important people. We've got Scott O'Gallagher. You might hear us refer to him as OG. And we've got Sykes along with us.
We're about to play Michigan brand of football, gentlemen.
We're about to get the ground and pound. This is going to be terrible.
Michigan brand of football.
Donovan Edwards about to give himself 25 carries.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, baby. There it is.
Ooh.
Come on, Mark.
God, I want to play this so
ball.
bad.
So you see, that's our brand new revamp passing right there. That's the blue. It's a safer throw that he made. There's blue, yellow, red. You know, obviously, the more that you're in the red, the more off target.
So I wonder, is blue up to the edge of yellow perfect? Yeah, this is all about, we went over this a couple weeks ago, but this is all about how long you hold down the button, and it determines the touch on the throw. And obviously,
no, they said that was a safer throw. That had nothing to do with the velocity.
No, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Safer
yellow.
Because if you hold it down, like let's say you're just trying to fit it in and you're like, I'm going to mash it as hard as I can. It goes into red and it becomes erratic.
Gotcha.
Maybe yellow's actually the perfect zone and they're calling blue safer because it's not really pushing the quarterback into an area where maybe his arm can't handle it.
Red. obviously the more that you're in the red, the more off target a throw is going to be. Good throw there for Donovan. Because we worked off of like a bullseye system, right? And Bill Walsh said it best about every pass being 6 inch off the numbers. So we wanted to really work off of that and get rid of the throws that might have been 20 plus yards over a head or anything random. Now, if you're hitting in the red, you're throwing it now off target, still catchable, right? But drop chances increase and other things of that nature.
Doing an Aaron Murray.
Hey, boys, this graphic stuff is real. It got me looking. They got us looking to the sideline. Yeah, I like that. They got us looking to the sideline and all that.
Oh, that one's up the middle too.
Get off of me, cuz. Get off of me, cuz. I don't care if he hit me like that. Get off of me, cuz.
I like the tackles.
Got my boy Ben Hall in the game now. Ooh, my boy Ben Hall.
I think 3rd and 6 here for Donovan.
Come on.
Donovan's Donovan.
Classic Michigan football. 3rd and 6. What do?
I think 3rd and 6 here.
Fucking zone read. Just zone. Just straight up zone. Look at this. So I like, so a lot was
great
put into
blocking by 51. Does a little double team, takes on
look
2.
At him. Well, and so a lot was made. Oh, look at that. And there's a little shed move you can do, I guess, if you do the correct timing and you're in the D line. But a lot was made of in this engine, each block being individually calculated instead of like the group as a whole. And I feel like you can kind of feel this as you see Donovan read this hole and find where his cuts are going to be.
Come on.
Cut up field, dude. Actually, not many people at home could do this at a 1-2.
All right, I just have to shout out for a second. The stick work.
Look at the double team with the tight end and the right tackle.
Stick work right there, dude.
That's part of what the gameplay is all about this year. That extra responsiveness, the control that you get with the ball carrier. That's a huge part of the college football experience this year.
Yep.
Donovan, how did running the football feel?
It felt like I was out there, you know what I'm saying? But for me, though, I'm able to, like, read the defense a little. I'm able to read it, like, you know what I'm saying, like how I'm playing it in a game. So the stick work was very easy.
Everybody's here talking about the stick work, and you talk about
a huge part of the college football experience.
The right tackle tight end.
Look at 65. Gets underneath, knocks him over, climbs to the second level, takes on the linebacker. I mean, that's just pretty right there. And then you let your good running back take over. I'm
able to read it, like, you know what I'm saying, like how I'm playing it in a game. So the stick work was very easy to maneuver.
So here, as we come to the line and Ewers is at the line, you're looking at the player reticle here, right? The right is your fatigue stamina, and then on the left is your wear and tear. Wear and tear is basically 5 different pips. That's just showing you the part that's hurting most. Sure.
That's an NCAA 14 spin right there. That move used to be undefeated back in earlier NCAAs.
Pips, that's just showing you
bad spin.
Sure, that's it. So it could be an ankle, it could be an elbow, and then it will fluctuate in colors. It will go straight from green, light green, yellow, orange, and red. The more that these are down, the more attribute hits that.
Is there a rating that affects how much the wear and tear is going to affect your play?
Absolutely. It is the toughness rating, right? So the toughness is playing into the impact of the hit. We're looking at recovery. That's a great
how much option I'm doing with Quinn Ewers.
One of the new things.
What are you doing?
Wait, what, Aaron?
I said, I ain't doing much option game with Quinn Ewers.
I mean, but look at this pitch, though, dude. Could you have pitched it like this when you were playing? Watch this thing right here. Oh my God!
He took it on the damn chin.
I mean, he got
QB1 you might be calling in. I can't even say Manning because Manning's not in the game. You might be calling in whoever the backup is for Texas.
Like, that's the thing. When you run option with a quarterback who's non-option quarterback, you actually need the quarterback to just pitch it way before.
Yes,
and just hope that the guy can win with speed. Like, you don't actually want to take the hit.
We've added to college is the pitch types. So now you basically have 3 different pitches you can do. You've got your types.
Watch this guy smell himself right here. Watch this right here. Oh, here it is. Sniff. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Now you basically have 3 different pitches
He
you
caught
can
a
do.
whip. Dude, he caught a whip. He's on camera. He's feeling self-conscious. I know how that goes, dude. I've been there before. I know how that goes. It's all good, dude. We love you, game designer.
You've got your quick pitches, strong pitches, and fake pitches. quick pitches are basically going to be to get you out of a tight
Why
spot.
is everyone
the
with quick
going to be
pitches?
quick, but the ball might hang. It might not hit the pitch back perfectly in stride. But then on your strong pitches, which you're going to get by holding the pitch button, the animation might take a little bit longer, but it's going to hit the guy in stride. The ball speed's going to be quicker. And then, of course, fake pitching, that's just
that's just going to be rude when you do that.
Exactly. That's just going to be to taunt, basically.
Did you ever hit a fake pitch, Aaron?
Fuck no. I didn't pitch.
Like you never ran the option. I figured like high school, maybe college, nothing ever, never.
No.
But yeah, that's how we've tried to approach the option space.
No, sir, I want it. Oh, I see it.
Damn.
Ooh.
Bordeaux, is that a covered shell?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had cover 3 out there, and I switched it to cover 2.
Okay.
That is a major change. Adding in these covered shells, taking that the old version of what is baseline, and now instead giving you the ability to show different defenses.
Aaron, would you have noticed that little shift from the 3 to 2 there?
Well, he did so early. They're already in 2. The ball hasn't been snapped yet.
Yeah.
And then disguise exactly how it's covered.
Live.
Let's see. Looks like man. Shift back.
Rotates over.
Oh, then they shift 2-3 afterwards.
What is that symbol that he has going from that player over there? I'm not.
So it was 3, show 2, go back to 3.
What is this thing? Is this telling him where he's supposed to? Is this telling him where he's supposed to be? No.
Yes.
No, because this guy wouldn't be playing. No, this guy wouldn't be playing deep middle. It seems like he's controlling it. I don't know.
Bordeaux, was that a covered shell?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had cover 3 out there, and I switched it to cover 2.
Okay.
That is a major change. Adding in these covered shells, taking that the old version of what is baseline, and now instead giving you the ability to show different defenses, and then disguise exactly what you're doing.
Get it out there. Touchdown.
Maybe it was man. It just did third here.
No, it was 3. It was corners weren't traveling.
Something that players used for a long time was baseline, and it was with that.
The angle route. This is the most undefeated route in video game football history. If you get man-to-man, bam, every time.
Good timing.
Every time, dude. Great timing.
Something that players used for a long time was baseline, and it was with that intent to disguise your look on defense. But now you're getting more control in that you can show, depending on the formation that you call, you can show up to 5 or 6 different alignments in pre-play on defense. So instead of having baseline, now you have even more control than you did before by being able to say, for example, okay, I'm going to call cover 3, but I'm going to show a cover 0 blitz look to make you think I'm blitzing, but really it's just like a drop coverage. And this is something like core fans they've wanted this for years. So I'm so glad we were able to deliver it.
That's real football shit right there, dude.
What's wrong with you?
Donovan, get to the
Let's go! Connection! Let's go!
That's a sick
for you.
Donovan doesn't know about all the different new celebrations that are.
Dude,
in
if
the
I was
game.
in this
There's
game,
over
I'd be
20
throwing
new
the football every
touchdown
damn time. He's just feeding
that you
himself.
can
I love
choose.
it.
Wait, well, you just feed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that as an O-lineman. You can just watch yourself block. Look at this though. Okay, so coming over from FIFA, little customized celebration. Hell yeah.
So we're not looking at just 4 for each direction. You have a lot.
You can hit the Heisman pose. You can do the salute. There's
wow. First down sellies too.
There's a lot there. You can rock the baby. Everything is in there.
Oh, Lasky!
Throw that. That's a dot.
Woo,
bro.
Damn.
That was an absolute dot, right? And so that's when we were talking about revamp passing. Left stick intent was there to be able to throw somebody open, layer the.
So I believe your button press is going to determine your blue, yellow, red. It looks like yellow may be perfect. And then your left stick, if you want to feather it towards the sideline or back shoulder. I mean, they used to do this on ESPN NFL 2K5. It's been around for a while. I guess you influence it that way as well.
Football. A lot have heard about us talk about that, whether it's the blog or the video deep dive, but that was priority A number 1. That was a great example of that right there.
Right now.
Stadium's pumping. Oh, okay. Good spin move.
Oh, that's a shot. He's going to feel that. He's going to feel that.
You like that. You like that circle.
Bordeaux, how's that spin move feeling?
I'm loving the spin move.
Spin is back.
Spin move.
It's back in play.
Oh,
Spin is back for sure.
Back.
You can tell that Donovan Edwards is a little annoyed though, because that's a like bullshit spin. Like you
I
would
was
never
say, no,
do
no
that
one's
spin.
spinning in the hole.
No, you would never
No.
do that
Back
spin in
spin,
real life.
never.
That would be a fumble. Like that's just a fumble waiting to happen.
Back.
Come on, bro.
Oh,
There goes
God.
Donovan. There goes Donovan.
Oh, stiff arm.
Oh, I like that
let's
stiff arm.
go. Great animations, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
switch
he's
the
putting on a
ball.
running clip. Bordeaux,
That's
you
a
got to
sweet
stop
stiff
something,
arm.
okay?
I'm not sure what you can do to stop him, to be honest.
I'm a big fan of a great right stick in video games. I love FIFA skill moves. I loved it in like NHL 09 when they really started to make all the stick work on the right stick. And I gotta say, this right stick looks it looks good. It looks really responsive. I'm a fan so far.
I mean, we're going to stack the box, but then that opens up the passing game. It's a little risky.
Oh, now he's
Oh, he
play action.
stacked the box.
Play action.
Did we get the animation?
Love,
Good.
baby.
So Bordeaux comes out, says, I'm going to stack the box. And what does Donovan do? Play action, hits the crosser.
Feed yourself, Donovan.
Gotta get Donovan cuts his
Donovan's timings on these throws are perfect. Look,
I know.
another yellow ball for our boy. Good call and feed yourself too, huh?
I already watched
Oh.
this.
Gotta get Donovan cuts his Donovan. Celebrate on him.
Only so much I can do here.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's taking
going for it all.
Shot.
He's going for it all.
You gotta get a,
All right, look, he lightly tapped it. See the little
This
blue on the
yeah.
throw meter, and then watch.
Here.
Watch how high it goes.
Oh,
he's taking
going
it.
for it all.
Shot.
He's going for it all.
Is he gonna get a DPI?
Is that DPI? It's only
Well,
15.
we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Penalty hunter.
I'll
Like
take
Luka
it.
in the
I'll
playoffs.
take it.
Hey, I like that. That's realistic, though.
Yep.
I like that.
It
That's
happens.
realistic.
It happens.
I'm getting nostalgic hitbacks with the run back to the line. Like that hits that nostalgia taste bud.
Yeah, especially when you talk about tempo and you know,
God,
it just really brings a whole nother life to it.
Another
The
spin
atmosphere, the play, the sense of urgency, everything.
See, I feel like in this
The taste
upcoming
bud.
game,
Yeah.
the spin fine, but I feel like right here, just hit a little left stick, hit a little, or right here, hit a little
Yeah.
left stick. You don't
No,
got to go
he's overdoing the spin move. Slows you down a little bit. That's what he.
The sense
Donovan
of
was just doing the jukes, and that's why he
That's what
didn't
I'm
lose his
saying.
speed.
Did
Yeah.
a little cut.
A little horny for the
urgency,
spin.
everything
This
comes
is
in.
the turbo hurry up mode, so I should get to hike it even quicker.
So you're using the turbo
whoa.
right
I
now.
am using the turbo.
And so you can see on the D line right there, because Bordeaux was using turbo tempo and he snapped the ball quickly, the defense was just a hair late getting off the ball.
Huh.
Hey,
Maybe.
he moving it, though. I ain't going to lie.
And so that play, you could see field general activated to where Bordeaux could see that the outside
Ooh.
corners were
We're coming.
blitzing on the
Yep.
play.
Yep.
But that is
Oh,
not
shit.
a guarantee,
That-
and it's only because his quarter.
That again, I love that
That's
as an ability because Aaron Murray might be able to see that, but us common people will not. And so that gives you the feeling of being an elite quarterback without having to have like actual elite
Go
quarterback.
back to the start of it. Go back to the start of the play before the snap.
Corners
We're
were
coming.
Mute it real quick.
Let's see if there's any other tails besides the ones being up. Usually the safeties would be way off the hash.
Yeah.
You're also not bringing a field corner. This is not a very realistic blitz. Ain't no one bringing a corner
They
from the
called
field.
it though, you know, but
I know.
it's what Edwards called.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, normally these guys would be stacked behind them too, because otherwise it's just going to be like if he just
There's a long way to go for a field corner. Never
Long
for
way.
people listening, never
Shame.
call the blitz from the field corner. Stupid.
no
Just
short
takes
side,
too long.
towards the sideline.
Ended up the middle. Okay.
and hasn't fallen behind the chain.
All right, boys and girls.
Ended up-
T-Bob.
Aaron, you out of here?
Gotta go pick up little man from school. See y'all
All
tomorrow.
right, take it easy.
Don't let T-Bob keep y'all too long. People got golf and shit to do.
Chill out. We got 10 more minutes left in this video. Fucking relax. Get out of here.
Bye.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. We'll take it. I still gotta come back though.
I'm taking myself out the game.
You take yourself out of the cage.
Yeah, I'm done for the day.
You did your job.
I'm done.
There's 5 seconds left and the clock's running.
Hey, we're looking at the spreadsheet here. You see the little minuses here. These are the attribute hits that Donovan has taken from wear and tear throughout the game.
Oh, wow.
Donovan, who are we talking to right
It's
now?
Tony Alford right here. It's my running back coach. just let you know what I'm saying, that the guys bring it up, you know what I'm saying? Look, I don't want to brag or nothing. Hold on, T8. There your boy.
It actually looks like Donovan Edwards. Imagine that.
That looks like a little bit of the inaccurate pass because it wasn't 5 yards over the head of the receiver. What it was just sort of down and away, and you got to click on and make a play to make that
exactly.
Catch.
It was what we like to call internally off frame, right? So off frame down there, harder to catch, still catchable, higher chance for a drop.
Oh, this is the one.
Hey, I like the breakaway speed though. The breakaway speed is wild.
There was a big emphasis too on the different.
I think the running actually looks really smooth, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Watch Edwards. Like I think it actually looks pretty fucking fluid and realistic as Edwards takes off here.
Different archetypes in the run cycles that we captured this year, so it really makes the game look fresh. And that's one of the new ones right there.
You're seeing spin moves, juke moves, and stiff arms all being used, and
situationally they're
all really, really good.
Right, all of it. And then you combine that with the left stick.
Look at, do you see that? That throw was insane.
That is it. That's the left stick stuff that you can throw in right there. Left stick intent, right? So he's full stick, about 45 left. It goes in there and drops it to the sideline.
So you're looking at this play and you see the gap and you're like, okay, I want to throw this ball to the sideline. I'm going to be able with the left stick to actually make that throw.
Absolutely.
Well, our game one featured a whole lot of Donovan Edwards, giving the ball to Donovan Edwards, and he is able to take down the win, but we had to switch it up, send him on the road into one of the toughest places to play, Happy Valley. And by the way, we got to give Bordeaux a chance. It wouldn't be a college football game if we don't give him a chance at a get back, okay? We got to see more from Bordeaux.
T-Bone 303 says, hey, if you go to Bordeaux's YouTube channel, he has extra gameplay clips of this game. Just uploaded. I don't think I'll have time to check that out today, but we can check that out tomorrow or Wednesday, as we normally do a show Wednesday, but there's going to be so much NCAA to cover, we probably will.
That's Penn State.
The attention to detail from our presentation team was second to none. You can see it. This Penn State
this
run
is unreal.
Is unbelievable. The lighting in the tunnel to the pom-poms in the crowd.
Donovan, is this pretty accurate?
Very accurate. Very accurate. And it got the We Are Penn
You can hear the We Are Penn State chant.
Yeah. That's very accurate. This is awesome.
With their fight song.
Goodness.
I gotta turn the light up on mine. I want to hear this.
From that hit with wear and tear, you are going to feel that.
You got to watch out for Mason Graham. He's got that platinum pocket disruptor, so he's really going to wreak havoc on the O-line if you don't have the.
Wait, okay. Platinum pocket disruptor, moderately increased composure gains on the road. Oh, that's cool. Wait. Pocket disruptor. Huh. Why would that tie into composure gains? Unless maybe that's just like a sub part about it. Again, though, I keep mentioning the animations, guys. I guess because it's been so long. I haven't played a Madden in forever. Even though I know this engine's a bit different than Madden's. But this looks great. This swim and rip. This all looks very realistic from the pass set to the rip move. Getting underneath, like he sets, bam, strong outside hand, and then he's gonna rip that right hand through. Oh, he didn't even rip through. Just threw his ass to the ground. God, that's pretty looking, dude.
You got to watch out for Mason Graham. He's got that platinum pocket disruptor, so he's really going to wreak havoc on the O-line if you don't have the guys that can match up with him.
He's pulling up those hot routes. And you saw with the L1, the custom stem. Yes. What are people going to be able to do with those custom stems when they're doing their hot route?
Before Sykes alludes to we got to pick.
So he probably should have used the custom stem there. Because we're going to get 6.
Yeah.
Bordeaux, what are we doing, man? I need 1.
I know. It's a tough start.
Whoa!
Go, Nick. Go, Nick.
See, there we go.
Oh, what a run!
There we go.
Hey, I like the lion noise on the first down, boys.
You heard that?
Yeah, that they do that every time.
What do we got here? Oh.
Get out
Angle
there.
route.
You like that Texas route,
Get out
bro.
there.
You like that.
Okay, come over to the Texas route.
What do we got coming? Little Heisman post?
Let's see if it's man. Yep. No, it's not man. Still worked perfectly. Jeez. God, I can't get over how good the animations look. Oof. Good cut.
You like that section, man.
What do we got coming? Little Heisman post?
I got Road Dog, don't I?
Yeah, you got Road Dog on.
Road Dog.
Donovan Edwards in game has Road Dog.
Ultimate increase to composure's gains on the road. Okay, so
Yes, he does. We know his stats on the road. He absolutely deserves it. We hand assigned abilities to the top 100 players in college football to make sure they're represented.
Oh, that's cool.
How they play in real life.
And for those at home, as they're seeing home field advantage and the different impacts and effects that are happening, as the meter is growing, and depending on where you're playing, there are, we've broken down the top 25 places, toughest places to play. The different impacts are happening. So that could be anything from the squiggly routes to not seeing icons to every time you bring up play art, it's showing the wrong play. Your back is
Oh, I love that, dude. I love that. Gonna test your own composure as to whether or not you can keep it in your head what the play is. Obviously, Michigan, nobody knows who their quarterback's going to be. Maybe it's Orji, but Orji not quite ready for Penn State. Every time he brings up the play art, it's a different play.
Long play. Your back is literally against the wall.
Oh, touchdown!
Got it.
Burnt.
Oh, what a pass there.
What are we doing?
Listen, Donovan Edwards is a running back. I think he can play quarterback the way he's throwing the ball out here.
Okay, he's got his celebrations down now.
And what's crazy is you're listening to it, you can hear the crowd.
AK says, I hate that shit. They put in Madden, piss me off every time. I mean, the thing is, though, like, it's one of those deals where it really is a skill check. Because if you remember the routes, then it's not a problem. Like, the call that you played. Now, granted, I do believe in this game that you could have situations where if you have like a receiver that's a bit young and flustery, that he could just straight up run the wrong route or something. But like, if you remember the play, you don't have to call it up. So it's a simple skill check if you hate it that much.
Loud noise level drop a little bit. Like those momentum plays really affect the atmosphere that you're playing in. You can make those plays on the road, you're going to get a bigger advantage.
Aski, let's go, man.
That O-line is not catching him.
Tony, that's Tony for you too. That's Tony Jones, bro.
Wow. If Bordeaux were to bring up coach vision right here with left trigger, he'd be able to view the composure of his players in pre-play. So you can see the composure of the team. It's not great right now.
Oh. Let's go!
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness. Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
Going to the crib.
Overall for you, bro.
Mason Graham looking fast.
That's that 95 overall. That's the first round draft pick right there.
God, that is
oh my goodness. Going to the crib.
That is very smooth animation throughout this entire play. Gotta get rid of the ball, dude. Look at the big man. Look at those ass physics right there. God. Maybe they could stand to be a little more jiggly, a little more dead or alive beach volleyball inspiration, but I thought it looked pretty damn good.
You made sure that the archetypes are so important that the abilities live within the archetype system, right? Only particular archetypes important that the abilities live within the archetype system, right? Only particular archetypes can get particular abilities. Which is paramount to make sure that we're not really, muddying the water.
Oh,
hey! All right.
Good move again, dude.
Smart play there, running away from that side of the field, running away from Mason Graham to the other gap, able to get a score there.
And still works.
See, there's another one, right? Hit the red. Okay, but now he's
kind of behind him.
Turn all the way back around.
So you don't get that animation where he's moving upfield. He's going to slow down. But
what I don't understand are what do these button presses say? Catch and run, aggressive catch. Like, is it like another timing mini game where first you have your power throw and then you press the button to give your receiver a better chance of catching it? That's what I would have to say. I like this. It reminds me a lot of like active reload systems from Gears of War, which I'm a major fan of.
it's still catchable.
Exactly, but those are going to really hurt you in tight windows.
Only had 3 carries. He'd be the most well-rested running back in the country.
Oh, I think he likes this 7 route right here.
Here it is.
He's going to throw to the flat to himself.
Yeah, and he's open. And look at the breakaway speed.
That's speed out of
great
Edwards.
showcase of
Honestly,
two of the abilities that Donovan has in college football 25. You can see it with takeoff right there. When that play started, he got just that extra quick step off of
Takeoff, physical ability, moderately quicker release off the line when not being pressed. Huh. See, and here we see some more of the depth. If you know a receiver or player on your offense that you know has this ability, all of a sudden you can look out there and like at the snap of the ball, is the guy playing tight coverage? Is he playing off? Like you can do the mental math of, oh, okay, he's actually playing off a bit. This guy has a better chance of pulling off this route. I'm maybe going to look at him more now. That's good.
the route.
Bro, the graphics are like so nice on this game.
Graphics team did an awesome job. Look at the lighting.
Okay, T-Bone says from the catches for Xbox, pressing Y should be triangle. For PS5, for a high is a catch for high pointing the ball. X is a catch on the run. A is a secure catch. Okay, cool. Good looking out, T-Bone. Thank you.
There it is.
Oh, red.
Bro, I'm reading it.
So that was a red pass. It was just slightly behind, but because the defender was in good coverage, that was able to be picked.
Also, pretty sure that was a user
New
pick.
kicking debuting in college. It's just something that we have not seen before. As far as even a 40-yard field goal isn't a gimme. You're really going to need to focus and make sure that you're timing up the accuracy meter and not over kicking it if you want to have success.
I've heard rumors that this pump fake you're actually going to see defenders move if you use the pump fake effect.
Absolutely, yeah. Now you can pull down a corner to throw behind him.
Right? In that
4-7 look. There's a lot of different things we really wanted to start making it play instead of just being more or less of an animation.
I mean, I like the matchup, but like, do I take it? Oh, Crib.
God, the speed.
That's an example. It's a big play. He's rolling out. He puts a little touch on the ball. And then now that
which I'm a big fan of. I always feel that sports games can sometimes feel a bit plodding, a little herky-jerky. Everything's very fast.
Again, the ratings differential, being able to put the ball in places you haven't been able to before, that really just speaks to the wide-open gameplay.
Get it to him. That's the big bet. Get it.
What a play.
I don't ever want to play Michigan.
That's the big bet. Do your dance,
Do your dance.
I'm really Donovan just swag out here for a second.
Come on, bro. Everybody eats around here, bro. Everybody eats. Watch the arrows. I'm on every.
It looks like he had a route and he makes the catch.
As you see here with Bordeaux, he's going into wear and tear. Now you can see left arm.
So he's losing a little.
Damn. That's a lot. That's kind of crazy, dude. Like, is every single game is where, I mean, that's kind of, we've been wondering how involved is wear and tear going to be? Like, is Drew Aller significantly worse right now? That's tough on your QB, dude. If your QB is just getting the shit, maybe it's because he got hit a bunch. Bordeaux's not getting rid of the ball. I mean, I guess, again, that would incentivize you to get rid of the ball. It's realistic, but eesh.
Arm.
Yeah. So he's losing a little bit of stats in that category.
I feel that.
So the individual body parts are going to pick up the wear and tear. It's not just generic fatigue or your whole body. It's going to be based on how they're hit, where they're hit, and that's going to change your ratings that are being affected.
Absolutely. So every body part has unique attributes tied to it, right? So a big hit to the arm is going to impact throw power, throw accuracy, medium throw, short, long, all of that, just as it would in real life. And we're on the road too. We're hearing the fight song play on the road. Just subtle, not as loud as it would be at home, which is a nice little touch.
Weather has got to be a big part of this, especially being in the Big Ten. This game's in November and it's snowy. That's going to have an effect on how the players play.
Without question. Throwing a wet football is a fundamental component of football. And so we had to make sure that was properly replicated.
Oh, was that
For what it's worth, my old man played professional football for 15 years, and he always said he didn't care if the ball was wet or not. It was whether it was windy or not. He played quarterback. Windy or not, but whatever.
Was that a motion halfback wheel?
They did that in the bowl game. I forgot who they played.
Nasty.
They did that exactly.
Exact play right there.
And they got it in the game.
All right, so now you see, right? Now we got wear and tear here in yellow, so now the impacts are starting to grow.
You could tell the way the ball was floating right there on that pass. The wear and tear starting to occur.
It wasn't a crisp throw. So if I need to get rid of that wear and tear, what can I do in game? Is it subbing someone out? Is it using timeouts? What do I do?
So they heal in multiple different stages. They heal per play, per quarter. Halftime is probably your biggest bump,
one.
And then if you're in Dynasty or Road to Glory, week to week.
It's going to be tough once your quarterback starts getting banged up like this. You're definitely going to notice it with the trajectories, the throw power.
Everybody and just sending it.
No, it's picked.
Oh,
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh man!
Holy cow! I don't know. Sykes, I have not. I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen that.
No,
that was,
I want to see that catch in his
Wow.
Man, with 32 seconds left.
Oh,
you didn't do it. You're dancing. You're down 40. Why are you dancing? Bordeaux, first time getting to play this. Give me just a quick, your thoughts from getting your hands on this game and how much fun it's going to be. The first college football game in 10 years.
Game again, gentlemen.
Look at you.
Definitely, it's going to be so much fun. I had a blast doing this.
Donovan, obviously 2 games. You got yourself 2 Player of the Game awards, put up a whole lot of points.
Yeah.
Just thoughts on playing the game, how much fun it is, and how much it means to you to be the cover athlete of this game.
You know what? Playing the game, this is amazing. It was very fun. It feels very realistic. Being able to be on the cover of the game as well is a blessing. And to be able to put up points into, rush over for 100 yards per game.
Crazy.
It's great, especially being my first time playing this game. So, he has to get a little bit better before he plays me again. So, it was a great experience playing this wonderful game that has been brought back after a decade.
Make game day every day.
All right.
Pre-order the EA Sports MVP.
That looks really cool, y'all. Overall thoughts, it's kind of confirmation of everything that we've been hearing and thinking a bit, which is that everybody that's touched this game so far has said it feels like it's made by college football fans for college football fans. I think you could see a lot of the passion there in terms of the actual design, the setup, the pageantry, the crowd, all of that. But coming out of this video, probably my favorite part, and I wish, should be more eloquent in describing it, but it is just the animations, man. And the speed at which they get to these animations, how fluid it looks. And it's not to say that there's no herky-jerky there, rigidity there, because there is. Because, there's always going to be when you're looking to animate real life. But the hits feel a bit bespoke. That pass rush move looked really great and natural. How it came about, the double cut from Edwards to start. I'm getting excited, man. I'm getting excited. We'll have videos going down every day this week too, because NCAA is dropping videos every day this week. So as always, guys, sub to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@snapscfb. We also, the podcast uploaded on Apple and Spotify every day. If you want to check it out there. Yeah, that'll do it for today's show. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Snaps. Later, guys.